Incredible
talk that inspires change.
Stuff as we talked about earlier.
Right.
Every day you wake up, you have to really give thanks that you woke up to attend and deal with another day. As we wake up this morning, with all the stuff going on in the world, we just have to be thankful.
Absolutely.
Thankful that we get another opportunity out here to really, hopefully, spread some knowledge, help somebody out.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll get people to join this cause as we continue to try to help these minority businesses, women-owned businesses.
Yes, sir.
We ready this morning, man.
We always ready. Hey, that's just what we do. Yeah. We get up every morning. We get ready to get it. We get on down the road, or you get on the plane and fly on in from Atlanta, all the way to Houston, Texas. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. KYND Radio, 1520, PN Global News. My man, Antonio Davis, Rodney Woods, and we got a guest with us today, Dr. Gladney. Woo-hoo. Welcome, Dr. Gladney. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm excited to be here this morning.
You excited?
I am.
Made that trip on down from Big D-Town
I did.
To Houston, Texas.
H-Town.
Yes, man. We wanted to bring somebody in with a PhD. Talking about, man, your health and wellness. Especially as it relates to these minority, woman-owned, government, LGBT, and majority businesses. That's what we do, eh? Yes. That's what we do, eh?
That's why we here.
10:03 a.m. Man, I tell you, boy, time is flying too, man, Look up every day like, oh, my God, here's another day going. We got all type of chaos going on around the country. But you know what? We're going to do our part. Yes, we're going to educate. We're going to educate. We're going to educate. We're going to teach. And we're definitely going to try to turn this landscape around as we talk about minority businesses, trying to gain access to capital, getting to the next level and, creating jobs in our communities.
Yeah.
Hey, we talk about that all the time. We got to have a huge job creation as it relates to these young millennial kids coming out with no skill sets. Uh-oh, we got some problems. We got some problems. Houston. We got some problems. We got to teach a whole other race how to do some things. We got to turn this thing around, But, man, it's good to be standing up this morning and also sitting down looking at you beautiful people this morning. Dr. Gladney.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Dr. Gladney, I always got people on her couch or on her phone, trying to inspire them to do the right thing. Get your business, get your health, get your mind right.
Yeah.
That mind thing ain't no joke, right?
No, not a joke at all.
Man, Dr. Gladney, though, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you here with us today at KYND Radio and PN Global News. You bring a vast wide range of knowledge to so many people about things that they're trying to get accomplished and trying to get to the next level. But that mind's got to be right, Doc.
Yes. I have a slogan that says success begins with the mind.
Okay.
And so that's where everything starts with.
Right.
Everything starts with the mind. And people don't really realize that because it's an intangible. And people don't understand what to do with their mind and their brains.
Right.
So I have a task before me. And then because of what I do, as in the background of psychology, about human behavior. I also know, a part of my PhD, understand how the brain processes information to change behavior. Mm-hmm. But everybody out there is an expert as a psychologist because everybody think they know humans and behavior because they are human and they have experiences. So, nobody questions the medical doctor when they say, oh, you have a pain here and this is what's causing it.
Right.
But for me, if I tell people what's causing their pain, they want to argue with me.
They really, literally want to argue with you.
Yes. And people are like, no, that's not the issue. And I'll say, here's what we're dealing with today. People want to argue with that.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. So I tell anybody majoring in psychology, get ready, because you're not going to be looked at as the expert, because everybody thinks they know humans.
Wow. What do you got to say about that,
It even goes a little deeper than that. You know, Doc gave you the simple version, but I think when it comes to total wellness and you start talking about not just the physical, but
right,
the mental, emotional, and all of that, the way we grew up, I just dealt with this with my mom. You know, she's really going through some back problems, and I've gone through back problems my whole career.
Right.
So I start telling her about alternative medicines. You know, we gotta do some other things, because surgery really right now is not an option.
Right.
You know, when you have this arthritis in your back, there's really not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah.
But you have to try to manage the pain, and I hate seeing my mom in pain.
Oh yeah.
So I'm telling
I'm going
her,
through it too.
Yeah. So I'm telling her, listen, let me tell you something. There's some alternative medicine out there that's good for you. I don't want you taking all these pills and blah, blah, blah. And so I give her some topical creams. I give her some other stuff. I say, hey, you have to try acupuncture. You have to try a chiropractor. You have to try all this different stuff because you're in pain.
Yeah, yeah.
And she fought me. She'll take the medicine, no problem. She'll pop a pill in her mouth any second, no questions asked. And I'm like, you know, that pill has side effects too, you know, from hurting the stomach to all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And nothing against it, because when she pops it, she gets some relief. But the other day, I sent her to this chiropractor, and she called me, and I knew it was going to help her.
Yeah.
So as soon as she called, and there's this joy in her voice, I'm like, okay, just come on with it.
Right. Come on, Mom. What happened? What happened?
So it's like now after that, I can get her to try anything.
Okay.
But the point of this story is, I just think, you know, our culture, and from an old school vantage point, we really start having to educate people that it does start in the mind. And you can control some of those different things. We have to start thinking outside of the box and go outside the box for solutions.
Yeah.
Because all the solutions aren't old school solutions.
Nah.
Due to technology, due to the bright people we have in the world today, there's no need to be stuck in this box thinking that only one thing works. You have to go out there and expand your mind and try a lot of different things. And sooner or later, you'll find that one thing that works for you.
Yeah.
But that's hard to do, because people are afraid. And
everybody got fear, right?
Yeah,
Doc?
everybody got fear. And we talk about, and research says there's really only two emotions that we have, and that's love and fear.
Yes.
And then everything comes from love or fear, positive, negative. And so fear makes people afraid of the unknown. Your mother was afraid to try something that she wasn't sure about, but she's been taking medicine. We all been taking medicine all our life.
Forever, yes.
So we know what that does.
Yes.
It's a temporary fix. When it comes to, chiropractor, they might mess up my back, you know, all the other thoughts and things that people have said. And it makes people afraid. They fear the unknown, so then all these other emotions happen. And it is all so simply controlled by the brain. But let me tell you, it's so hard to change people's minds. Logical arguments rarely change emotional beliefs. So if somebody feels a certain way, they're scared. They don't know what that is. Don't tell me about that. I don't know nothing about it. Their emotion and how they feel about something, you can't hardly change that, even though it's logical. Look, this can happen. I don't feel like doing it. But something, you know, the pain, and this is what makes people change.
I think all our parents need to be listening to this conversation, right? I just got off the phone with my mother, like I've been telling you, got to get up and do something, you know. But go ahead, Doc.
But no, I'm just saying the pain, what makes people change is when pain gets bad enough. Pain will make you change your mind and your behavior.
Right. And you know, with us and what we're doing and trying to change the mindset of a business, same process.
Yes.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things that you just don't want to do in order to get to the next level. You've been doing it a certain way for so long, you know. So now we're trying to say, hey, here are tools. Here are things that you'll have to do in order to just get to the next level, because you've already said that you've tried to walk into a bank, you've walked into investors, and we pitched our products and services, and it just ain't working.
No, it goes before that. Doc just talked about that fear. We talked about it a couple of shows ago.
Yeah.
That fear of embarrassment.
Yeah,
You come in, you start looking at your books. And things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Listen, we have to get away from this, because that fear is holding us back from either feeling better physically,
right,
or getting ahead in business.
Right.
And once we overcome that fear, and that's what we're here for, really.
Yeah.
Is to try to distill this fear that people have of either taking that next step, of whether it is embarrassment,
right,
regardless of embarrassment or not, regardless of fear or not. We can't sit in that situation, whether it's pain or fear, and just accept it.
And AD is 100% right, because I know you be wearing me out. Yes. Dude, you can't sit there. We need to make sure that everything is good with you. There is no fear, Rodney. Yeah. And I'm looking at AD 6'10". I want to fight him. Like, nah, I can't fight him today. I can't fight AD right now, but I'm going to talk back. Man, hold up, man. I done already talked to 20 people. No, I don't care. Go talk to 20 more.
We got to talk to 20 more. We got to get it done, man. We have to.
Now, I give him all the credit in the world, Doc. AD is like, there's no fear, Rodney.
Well, even before the fear, I think a lot of people just don't know what to do. And they've heard from somebody else.
We got the what to do part now. We got that down.
That's why we're here today.
No, I know, but I'm saying people don't know when they walk into a bank, or when it comes to your business, people generally have an idea. And they think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are. They're great ideas, but they don't know how to make that idea work. Even before they get to the fact that they know that they need some money. They just don't know how to make it work.
Right.
And again, that's when fear creeps in, because it's unknown and you don't know what to do. So that's why this is so important. What we're doing here is because we're giving you the knowledge. And there's a saying that fear is high when knowledge is low. When you don't have a lot of knowledge about something, then your fear level is going to be high. The more knowledge you have about it, the less you're going to be afraid.
True.
So we are providing the knowledge so that people can get over their fear.
Right.
And they don't have to walk into the bank. There's other ways to get money. And that's a good thing.
Hello. As my brother Tommy Ford said, hello, I got you. I feel you. We're going to come back in a few minutes here with Dr. Gladney, my partner Antonio Davis, with 832-230-5592, PN Global News, KYND Radio.
Knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
And we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kira's Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
for what?
Volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who's suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to careshope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny.
Call out for
See, that's how you get people.
As well as
somebody got to food and somebody got to deliver information.
Him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor, we need you there. September 16th, Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. They can register as early as today, Rashawn. KYNDradio.com.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king.
Matters. We're listening.
Right now.
All right. Welcome back to KYND Radio, PN Global News. Rodney Woods, Antonio Davis, and Dr. LaWanna Gladney. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Spitting that knowledge that we need, understanding that fear and love thing, so we need you to keep speaking, girl. Keep speaking. We also, with Dr. Gladney and Dr. Gladney, we're going to let you tell the listening audience and the viewing audience, a little bit about yourself, because everybody probably want to know, okay, Dr. Gladney, she's coming out of this space, and now she's engaged with, Antonio and Rodney and Tracy and all of our partners at PN Global News and Playbook Investors Network, and also your whole models behind Playbook. But just expound a little bit on yourself. Mic's off. Okay.
I am the emotional wellness doctor, and I help people to understand how to use the power of their mind to manage their emotions and their stress, and to have a good life and have good physical health.
Right.
Because 75 to 90% of all your sickness and disease start with emotions and stress. And
75%?
75 to 90%. 75 to 90%.
Yeah, we need to
all
change some things up right
and
now.
disease starts with emotions and stress.
Okay.
So understanding how important that is, and that really nobody teaches us how to manage our emotions. Right. I took my knowledge and expertise and started really understanding how emotions work throughout our mind.
Right.
And so I teach people really how to do life. Because there's not a life class on what do we do when this happens? How do we manage pain when when we have emotional and mental pain? It turns into physical pain. Mm-hmm. So I travel around the country. I do speaking, training. I work with corporations, companies, training in emotional wellness. I also work with individual clients. Mm-hmm. So I help people all around the nation one-on-one. We have a system on how to get them to a different space and how to get them off meds and everything else that's out there.
Yeah.
And then I write books. I've written 5 books.
Yep.
And my latest book,
I think I've read a couple of them already,
is If You're in the Driver's Seat, Why Are You Lost? It's a roadmap to an amazing life. So I help people understand that they're in control of what they do with their life.
Right.
We can't control everything that happens in life, but you can control what you do with your life. And then I also do radio and TV stuff. So I'm just anywhere that anybody will let me say my message. I do Facebook Live. I do posts. I do social media.
Yes.
Whoever will listen.
Right.
Because I'm here to really affect people's lives and make changes in their lives for the better. Create amazing lives.
And we came into... I'm sorry. Go ahead, A.
No, I was just saying that's great. I think it's just so needed. So many times we look at the physical.
Yeah.
And we don't really understand that there's something that happens before that.
Absolutely.
I know so many times I look up and my neck hurt or my back hurt.
Yeah, we were on a long plane ride.
That can happen. But sometimes I'm just walking around. Like I know I didn't do anything to hurt my neck or my back.
Yeah.
And something's going on. So it's interesting that she's pointing out that there are other things that contribute to your physical pain.
Absolutely.
So getting that brain and that mind right, then we can control some things, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, I tell you, that's some things that we really going to have to change then, because I think it's a whole lot of minds messed up right now.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in society today.
Especially with what we have going on.
Right. Even as it relates to business. And it's tough. I mean, because, you just drive and drive and drive, and you are in the driver's seat, in your business. But sometimes you get a detour, or you get a stall in the road that you can't get around this stumbling block because you're trying to get to that next deal.
Right.
Or you're trying to get that next person that can help you get to the next deal. or you're trying to get to capital, which is what's going to help you put some more fuel in the car so you can continue, to drive that vehicle. So, so mentally you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong, Doc? You ask yourself that a thought, and we talk about these things, like, what am I doing wrong? If you got a good business, you've done everything you're supposed to do, you put gas in the car, you drive in the car, you got the seatbelt on, but guess what? I still can't get to that next level. What are we doing wrong, Doc?
Yeah.
Well,
and the two top
You're not putting some questions on it right now, right?
The two top stressors in all of our lives are relationships and finances. Those are the things that cause us. So if you go back to the stat, 75 to 90% of all your sickness and disease are starting with your finances and your relationships.
Now, I can concur with that.
And that's really what makes us
when you
sick.
think about relationships, right? Things go wrong in relationships, true.
Right.
But let finance be wrong in your relationship?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's done.
It's the top reason that people get divorced.
No, it's over.
Yes.
I can't take this no more. I'm out.
So money is so important in every aspect. Just think about it.
Right.
Really, the reason why people start businesses. Of course, we want to help people.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do it for free. You're going to need some money to pay your bills, your lights. And so even what we do in business all relates back to money and relationships.
Yeah.
And when people don't know, it's easier to manage relationships because people feel like they can walk out or they have some say-so. When it comes to finances, people don't really understand how much power that they have because mentally we haven't been taught that we have power.
No, I think we do understand that with finances, you do have power. We see it every day. We talk about the power that others have as influencers.
Right, but, okay, to your point,
right,
the influencers understand their power, but for the person who just wants to start a business, they don't have any influence yet. They don't know how those people got to influence. Typically, the influencers are the celebrities or the people that have been in the limelight.
Right.
Just the regular Joe Blow down the street doesn't feel like he has any influence. And so for him, he doesn't understand that he has power over his finances, especially when you could think you could walk in a bank and they're going to say no and everybody's saying no. You don't feel like you have any power over your finances.
That's true.
So people don't realize that because we haven't been taught. We have not really been taught that you're in control of your money. Because when you go and they say this is all we're going to pay you, this is what you're going to pay, my hourly wage, your salary, whatever. You're not in control of that.
Right.
So people really don't feel like they have the power when it comes to their finances.
Okay.
And that's what puts people in a mental state of mind that they feel like they can't achieve. And what do I do when I'm lost? And all of those things. Because then what they have known and tried has not worked. Then they say, well, I guess this is not a good idea. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing.
Right.
And I'm going to put my dream on the shelf. And then, So that's why, again, this is so important.
Right, right.
Because we're helping people understand that you do have power. Because most people think that the money belongs to them.
Yeah,
that's true.
And who's controlling the money?
That's true.
And not us. You know what I'm saying? So all of that does something to you mentally. And then it transfers over physically. So it's deep. I don't know how deep y'all want to go.
No. We want to go deep.
I don't know how deep y'all want to go.
No,
Deep.
listen. This is PN Global News, and we want to go deep.
Okay.
And we want to always keep it real and 100 with the listening audience, the viewing audience, because we've set out to really change the game. I'm passionate. AD's passionate. Tracy and Doc and Damon and Jesse, our whole team, LaRonda, all of us, everybody's passionate. Shakita. We got plenty of people that's on our team that believe in what we're doing and how we will change the game, because we had to create a system basically in Playbook, in PlaybookInvestorsNetwork.com, PlaybookInvestorsNetwork.com. We had to create a system, an ecosystem that we could actually train everybody on the process of how they get there. Now, of course, adding you, Doc, we get ready to go real deep.
Go real deep.
We get ready to take this thing across the country, align ourselves with many others like yourself, because we realize that there's a lot of help that has to be implemented into these businesses to get to the next level.
Absolutely.
You know, so you got to really change the mindset. You know, you got to change the mental capacity. You know, you got these couple states that you go through, but you got to change them. You know, I got a little history in me too. So.
Okay.
We all do, right?
There you go. But no, it's like there has to be a change. It's just now, and now with chaotic times and things that's going on, you know, with the White House and going on in other countries, it's still affecting us too on the ground, you know, because businesses are being affected as well. But more importantly, you have a business and you're trying to scale that business. You're trying to grow this business, but you need to gain access to capital.
Right.
So we're also even trying to change banks.
Yeah.
We're walking into the bank saying we have a solution for you. You're telling us that you cannot reach all these people to deploy that capital to, right? We have a solution for you. We're going to educate, clean up, get doctors to go through this mental capacity with all these businesses and everything else to make them understand that how they actually gain access to the capital you're trying to deploy. But you're telling us you can't deploy this capital. You can't find qualified businesses.
Which is huge because I think the first thing that we have to do is start getting people to understand this idea that they have is fine.
Yeah.
But there is a process that's involved. And I'm glad Doc is here because so many times, we've talked about this before, when we start businesses, there's really no exit strategy. There's really nothing there.
We don't build that.
There's no entrance strategy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But I'm talking about the small businesses now that are successful.
Right.
That we're trying to step in and maybe scale up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we get into it and we feel a certain way about our business, and we don't think that there's necessarily a reason to go to the bank. Hey, we're doing just fine. You know, we're taking care of everybody. The kids are okay. We're putting kids through college. We're doing a lot of good things.
Right.
So why do we need you to come in here messing with us, bothering us because everything
making
is just
us
fine.
grow?
And then they get to that point where they get a little bit older, and now it's time to make that decision. Well, what do I do with this business? And if you haven't educated that next generation, if you haven't done some things to ensure that this business is going to move forward and up there, then there's a whole nother issue there.
And
so there's a lot of things when you talk about getting deep. We have to get deeper because it's generational, that we have to start changing the way that people think.
Right.
Because the millennials now, they understand when they get in there, they want to scale up. And then they want to have a process by which they cash out, and start benefiting from all this work that happens. And not even just cash out, but grow the business to more now that they're creating jobs and they're doing other things to make change instead of just changing how our family is affected by this business.
Yeah,
we want to go out and start helping others.
Absolutely, and I know Dr. Gladney, you and I have talked about this. There's a lot of the things that has to be taught even in the business, like you said, like AD said, when you're getting older, and how you transition into that space. There's some things that you actually do for that particular person who owns that business, who's trying to position him or herself into that life after this business. Because you're right, most of us don't build, most of us and I'm gonna say it, most of us African American businesses do not build a business to actually, exit the company.
Well, but again, that goes back to having the knowledge about business. Now in colleges, they have entrepreneurship class that you can major in entrepreneurship.
I know that, but I still don't think it's like it is on the street when you actually in the business.
Well, but what I'm saying is that's now. But when people started businesses back, our parents' generation
it wasn't
before, it wasn't that.
Yeah, it was not.
And they were just starting a business to make a better life for their family.
Right.
So they're like, I don't need to make millions, but we'll talk about that.
Right.
We'll talk about, they said they don't need to make millions. I'm good. So why you bothering me? That was the generation. We'll talk about it after the break.
Coming back, KYND Radio, PN Global News, Rodney Woods, Dr. Gladney, Antonio Davis, 832-230-5592.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king.
Hi, I'm Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
Okay, for what?
volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Help me walk.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who's suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to KiersHope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny. I'm
Call
being
out
funny.
for
See, that's how you get people.
vendors as well as
somebody got to
volunteers.
give food, and somebody got to deliver
Between
information.
him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor,
Indeed. You waited long enough. It's your time to call. 1-833-588-5963. That's right. Call 1-833-588-KYND.
Welcome back to PN Global News, KYND Radio 1520, 832-230-5592. If you have any questions for Antonio Davis, Rodney Woods, or Dr. Gladney, please give us a call, 832-230-5592. Dr. Gladney's in the house with us, AD. This is nice, man. We getting educated up in here. Ain't that right, Rob? We getting educated in here, brother. You know, we also, I ain't mad at AD today. We got our own PN Global Water News today. So AD said we not promoting no businesses, no water, because this is PN Global News. PN Global News Water. You can buy at your local stores, PN Global News Water.
That's funny.
And we did manufacture this one, by the way. The bottles, the tops, everything.
Everything.
So we're going to manufacture our own bottles and everything. It's time to take this thing back and own some businesses. And we always, I mean, every day, you know, 7 days a week, we're talking about how do we, you know, do different things and change the landscape and, you know, get into the mindset of business owners, you know, male or female, no matter what ethnicity you are, you know, you got a business, you know, and you got a family. And you're trying to scale a bit, you're trying to take care of your family, but there's a lot of processes that has to happen when you really want to have that success. Or, as Dr. Gladney say, you want to do away with that fear, you know, in order to get to that next level. So these are the things that we're talking about on a every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon for the last 14 weeks now. Man, 14 weeks.
Man,
Wow.
it's been a blessing.
It is a blessing.
Weeks, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, I'm feeling like AD,
Struggle,
man. I got fear. My back hurting. I got to take some of this fear away. My back hurting. My knees hurting. Hey, AD is messing with my Saturday and Sunday basketball. I got to take my Advil. I'm hurting, man. Golly.
Good. You know, as I listen to you talk about that, I think the other thing we miss too is, and Doc continuously said it, it's either about those relationships or it's about your finances. And
Yeah.
The thing that I find that very interesting is a lot of times when we do start a business, eventually that business should take away some of that fear and stress. And what it usually does is add more
Yeah.
fear and stress.
Yeah, it does.
You know, so hopefully Doc will add that component to where people start viewing starting that business as something that's going to be that stress reliever. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. There's
Yeah.
going to be some stresses with starting a business, some fear.
Yeah.
But that's good stress. That's
Right.
good
Yeah.
fear.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to help you manage that. And another thing is, as you continue to grow and scale, hopefully we put things in place and your foundation is so strong
Right.
that you will be able to, start delegating things and start taking advantage of all this growth that you
Yeah.
have or all the success that you have. And
Absolutely.
it's not you work your tail off to the bone from day one to end,
Yep.
and you never get to take advantage or just sit
Right,
back,
right,
and,
sit back.
sip some coffee in the morning, say okay, I got
Jesse
time
say,
to get there and all that.
As your boy J Mac say, sip on his Folgers coffee. I'm like,
We're not
Jesse.
branding anybody.
Oh, that's right.
Sipping coffee.
Hey,
We ain't
Jesse.
sipping nobody's nothing.
Right. You know what?
Right
AD has spoken. Jesse, you no longer drink Folgers. You drink Penn coffee. You drinking Penn Playbook, Investors Network, and Penn Global
We're
News
not
coffee.
giving anybody anything. We're not giving it away for free anymore.
It is definitely time for us to own and manufacture our own coffee.
Yes.
Penn Global News coffee.
Yeah, we're going all the
You
way
know
down.
what? You have a point, because I think what happens is people don't go into their business thinking they're going to scale it. People don't even know what that means, first of all.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, the average person that goes into business is not thinking, I'm getting ready to blow this up into a Fortune 500 company. We don't even look at the stores that we shop at when we go to Target, when we go to, of course, we know Walmart's story. Everybody knows Walmart's story. When we
Right.
go to Macy's, we go to Nordstrom's, we don't even think that one person started this and they named.
Don't
this
say
is their
we.
last name. Well, okay.
Okay, all right, hold
Well,
on.
okay, I'm not
AD
talking
them
about-
just look at me crazy too,
I'm
like,
not
man, do you
talking
know
about-
who
but I'm not
started this, who
talking about
owned this
the
right
top
here?
2%.
You know who owned this Penn Global News water right here?
I'm talking about the average
I know.
person does not drive down the street or go in the mall and think that one person started this store.
Right.
And now this has become this large franchise. So most people just go into business not thinking, I'm going to grow into a company that has employees. So they're not thinking about growing and scaling. So we have to first find out where people are, because if you go in and that's not where you're trying to go, you're never going to get there.
But you got to think about an entrepreneur who starts a business. And I mean, I know it's kind of hard to say that you don't think about those things, but in a way you start this business, but you start this business for a couple of reasons. A, you wanted to be, free to do what you want to do as far as making money. And right. As far as making money and growing a business that you created, or you saw another company that makes this bottle, but you wanted to do something that could do it a little bit better. Maybe won't have as many lines, or maybe want to have a top that won't seal the certain, that kind of stuff. So I got to be innovative with that. But I know in my mindset, I created a business because I wanted to be a business and I wanted to make money.
Right.
So I don't, I'm not saying it's true or false, but I would have to think that a person who comes out the gate to create that business for finance or financial freedom, or to be able to, if they have kids and they thinking about, well, I'm going to pass it on my kid, because most African-American companies want to pass it to their kids.
But
and the kids don't want it.
I think what Doc is trying to say, though, is that, before I met you, I used to think small. I wanted to get out there and be a part of a business, or maybe work for somebody, gain some knowledge, and get my own business. But I never thought about manufacturing that bottle or owning that plant or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I get what she's saying. Usually when we start business, it is for that. To make some money, to take care of ourselves and our families, to have that freedom and all of that. But we have to start thinking that, we don't only want to go in and affect, this small portion.
Right.
We want to go in thinking like, hey, one day, this mustard seed is going to be huge.
Right.
And I'm not going to be taking care of my family, but my friend's family and the next family and whomever.
And it's on and on and on.
Right. Jobs.
Right.
And that's what I was saying about these ball players. Like, when we were making money, yes, we were making money, and we were able to take care of our families and maybe go into the community and make change.
Right.
But these guys today are making enough money to where it's not just about yourself, your family, and generations.
Speak
legacy.
Speak
It's
AD.
not just about your community around here.
Right.
We're talking about changing the world.
Exactly.
Guys are making $40-50 million a year, and having that influence and those relationships.
Right.
They can go in now and start changing the world.
Yeah,
But see, they're
absolutely.
not there. And this is what I'm saying. So success begins with the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you take these young guys, and all this money's thrown at them. Nobody's ever taught you how to expand your thinking, your mind, what to do with all the money. When you're young, you don't ever think you're going to even get old. The point is, I'm saying
It ain't with that one. I didn't think.
I didn't either. It sucks. It sucks getting old.
Nobody thinks you're in. I mean, you're in an invincible space, and so they don't think the money's going to stop. But again, it's the knowledge. They don't have the knowledge. They don't even really realize how much influence they have. They look at it on a celebrity status, which we know you could be a celebrity one day and you could disappear the next. But when you talk about influence, so you have to get them way down here because the money is overwhelming. It really is. Because we know that people get in, they lose it. We're talking about, I was a small thinker. When I started my company over 20 years ago, I was like, I'm going to speak, I'm going to change the world, and it was just going to be me. I wasn't thinking I wanted a company. I was like, I can do this. Right. I want to travel all over, and they're going to pay me this big money, and you're going to be able to go to this school. I was the same. So I'm saying we just don't some people come out the gate thinking they can change the world because, I wrote an article talking about the psychology of a driven personality. And some people, you're born, it's innate. So, you can't teach people how to drive. Right. You either have it or you don't.
Right.
You can't. We know that. We all have kids. And some of them have drive and some of them don't. Exactly. And we can't teach them drive. So.
You're right about that. Hey, Rodney and Robert, did y'all hear that?
Keep naming them.
Yeah, we're going to keep on naming all our kids. We're going to go down there. We're going to name all the kids. But we're going to come back in a few minutes with KYND Radio, PN Global News, Dr. Gladney, Antonio Davis, Rodney Woods. Call us at 832-230-5592.
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Cures Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
for what?
volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who are suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to cureshope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny.
Call out for
that's how you get people.
as well as
somebody
volunteers.
got to bring food and somebody got to deliver
Between
information.
him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor, we need you there. September 16th, Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. They can register as early as today, Rashawn. KYNDradio.com.
Knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
Hi, I'm Morris Parsons, and
Indeed.
KYND. Listen longer. Think differently.
All right, welcome back. KYND Radio, PN Global News, Rodney Woods, Dr. Gladney, and AD Antonio Davis in the house. 10:46 on Thursday. Oh, my God, tomorrow's Friday.
Man.
They always say, thank God it's Friday. But I be like, man, give me like 2 more days before Friday, right? Get some more work done. But no, man, just as we left talking about, we can't put that drive into our own kids. That's just amazing.
Yeah. You can't put it in anyone. That's what I'm saying. Either now you could teach people skills, but that drive,
right?
That's why everybody can't start a business. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean that it's gonna be successful.
Right.
But those people that are smart and understand their weakness, they will get people on their team.
Right.
You can push them
Okay.
if they're not born with that drive or whatever.
Right.
So you surround yourself to make yourself successful. But again, that's something people have to be taught.
Yeah.
And people get afraid of what they don't know, who they don't know. They're going to come in and take over if they pushing me, So there's so many dynamics here.
Yeah.
Guys.
Well,
dissecting this stuff is so much here.
I'll tell you what, and I'm finna jump on AD bandwagon, and I'm always on your bandwagon, Doc. We with you. We rolling. We getting into everybody's mind. But when you start to think about the things that keep us up really late at night, when we started to learn about we can affect change and we can educate, and Antonio, AD, you was the president of the NBA Players Association.
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there were so many times that we were trying to figure out, how we can collectively change things.
Right.
But it's difficult when you're dealing with, 340 guys.
Yeah.
With 340 financial advisors, 340,
Yeah.
you're dealing
Yeah.
with all these different dynamics.
Right.
And the one thing that I used to tell guys is if you're surrounded by people who don't want to educate you, that there's this fear there that the more you get educated, the less you need them, then to me, you don't need them.
Man, you might want to repeat that one.
That's the,
Matter of fact, you might want to put that on the chart. We're going to write that up.
That's the one thing that I loved about my financial advisor. We always went through this process of, hey, if I had someone come at me with some type of business or something, and I show him, then he would throw me so many questions. He would look at it, and next thing you know, I had 10 questions coming at me.
Right.
And he was like, these are the things that you need to look at before you even bring it to me. And there's just things that you can look at it right from the beginning. First of all, if they don't even come at you with a business plan, there's nothing to talk about because you don't even know what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they need. You don't know anything, how they're structured. Is it legit or not? I mean, there's so many things. So I just know that guys need to be educated, and we get in there as professional ball players, whatever sport it is. We then have to start trusting people.
Yep.
And if the people we are trusting are not educating us, then there's a huge disconnect and a huge problem, really. That's where we kind of get into trouble, where there's so many things going on. Hey, I'm just here, I'm playing ball and whatever.
Right.
No, you're playing ball, but you also need to protect yourself, your assets, your wealth. You need to protect everything around you, and you protect it with knowledge.
Yep.
And that's what, I'm really trying to push this message of, hey, this is not just about you going out playing and making a lot of money. This is about, making that change, protecting yourself, protecting your legacy, all of that different stuff. And we're just going to continue to do that.
And I try not to be too tough. I speak openly all the time, and AD, I'm always, just up front and very passionate about it because, all of our peers who have made a lot of money, and Dr. Gladney, we talked about this, but a lot of our peers who've made a lot of money and don't have it, today, it is very disheartening, and it's tough to see, guys going through it that could have changed the game in a lot of ways. That's why I commend people like we talked about Jay-Z, in his video recently. And I called Tracy and hey, we need to call him.
Right.
We need to talk to Jay-Z right now and hey, you're talking about stuff that we're actually putting on the ground and doing, and we got a strategy behind what we're doing. We got mouthpieces, we got doctors, we got all that, but we're also trying to say that it's going to take a village of us to change that other village.
Yes.
to get that word out. We're going to have to walk back into Adam Silver and talk to him because it's a good thing for you as the league to really want these guys to really be educated and own some things in their own backyards, in their own states, in their own cities that they play in, they reside in, or wherever they were born at.
Right.
Okay? So it's just time. And we're going to get some backlash, but it wasn't about us. It was just about how we really affect change, how we affect the mindset. Right, Doc?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things we got to talk about. We got Darren on the phone. Darren, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Good.
Outstanding. Listen, you guys, great conversation. Listen to you guys pretty much every week. And
Thank you.
I was listening to you guys talk. You're welcome. I was listening to you guys talk about drive just now and how we can't teach drive, right? And I want to give you another concept of it. I'm a leadership development professional, and absolutely right. Some of these things are innate, and some of these things we can actually learn, right?
Right.
Now, when we talk about drive, and I'll make this quick, when we talk about drive, one of you guys mentioned that sometimes in the African-American community, we want to turn our business over to our kids on an exit strategy, and the kids don't want the business.
Right.
One of the things that kill drive is us wanting them to do what we did, believing that they have the same dreams, the same aspirations, the same ambitions. While we can't teach drive, what we can teach is vision. We can teach mission. We can teach them how to use their own gifts and their own talents, but most importantly, their own why.
Right.
So the key to teaching drive is vision, mission, and their own personal why. And your why is the only thing that will ever inspire you and sustain your behavior long term.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
right.
You're right. You're 100, Darren, and you're right on point. I mean, right, Doc?
Yeah, he's right. When it comes to the kids in this millennial generation, and I have 4 of these millennials.
I have 3.
I have 4.
Okay. and it's very interesting because I learn a lot from them. They look at it a little bit differently, as far as their why, as far as what they're looking at long term, because the world is so instantaneous. Right. Everything happens really quickly. They're just thinking of instantly, how can I make it work?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we ain't talking about 5 years from now. We're talking about right now.
Right now.
You're getting me to 5 years.
It's that self-gratification right
them
now.
having a vision. So we have to look at it's particularly this generation behind us. Do they even understand? Again, everything is training. Do they even understand what a vision is? And because they see the short term, we can make it work. We can get on social media. And I have a daughter. She's making money. She just put her stuff out on social media as an artist, and she makes money. She didn't have to have a business plan, a vision, or nothing. She's like, I'm going to post it on Instagram. And so we're in a different space. And so we have to, how we teach has to look really different.
Right.
So we
Can I interject one more thing really quick?
Absolutely, Darren.
Before I hang up and listen.
Sure.
Before I hang up and listen. So now we have to ask ourselves, in order to get this next generation on point, are we going to allow them to accidentally or unintentionally learn? Or how do we now come up with an intentional plan to make certain that they understand intentionally what vision is, and that they have an imagination, and that they have creativity, and that they have a heart's desire, that they have to be willing, AD, you said, understand the process, series of steps and actions.
Right.
So
Very
how do
good.
we intentionally teach this?
Well,
I'll hang up and listen, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, Darren. Well, let me say,
he's on point.
There's a lot of adults that don't do life intentional, because that's what I work with, is adults and helping people on a daily basis. And most people don't live their life with intention. Most people don't live their life with a plan. Right. So obviously it's really hard to pass it on to the next generation. So those of us that get it, we do have to come up with the plan to teach it to our generation, so it can filter down, and as well as teach it to the millennials.
So let me, and again, thanks, Darren, for the call.
Yes.
But let me play devil's advocate for a second. So, like, in this entrepreneur space, as an entrepreneur, you have and if you do have a plan, right? You got a straight plan. You need to follow this plan, and you got vision, you got a mission, you got all that. But in this entrepreneur world, things change on a second.
Yes.
It just changed on the second, and it will throw you off. It'll throw you off from your mission, your plan, and sometimes your financial. Because you like, it's you. Right. You're not the big corporation yet. You're not Toyota. You're not Cisco. You're not, Frito-Lay Pepsi. You're not Microsoft. You're not Facebook. But you thrown off because something happened and you had to improvise and change that plan. Or you had to go another direction really quick. Because if you didn't do this, you're going to lose all this over here. And I know this because I've seen this now, and that's why we built something to help. But you know that there's some milestones that you just don't see coming that you got to get across.
Well, I just think that when you have a plan, it has to be a living plan. It can't just be this thing you write in paper and there's no adjustments.
Right.
I think if you're an entrepreneur, that plan may be tweaked every day,
every
week or every month,
right,
because we have to start assuming things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Things always happen.
Yeah, true.
It happens in growth. It happens in life. It happens wherever. Things are going to happen. We just have to be able to adjust. It's not what happens to you. It's how you react to it, So I think if we start getting people to understand that, listen, this process isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen. We're just going to help when they happen. We're going to be there to help you.
Yeah,
period.
Yeah.
We're going to get you through whatever it is.
Right.
We're going to help you get through it.
And that's why I just say I play devil's advocate, because I know that the mindset is thinking about those things. But I know, Rob, it's time to go to the break. Sometimes we love just continue talking, right?
I know.
But we're at KYND Radio, Penn Global News, Rodney Woods, Antonio Davis, and Dr. Gladney.
Knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
I'm Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James, and I'm Alexis Moore.
And we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K Run/Walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
for what?
Volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who are suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to KiersHope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny.
Call out for
that's how you get people.
As well as
somebody
volunteers.
got to bring food and somebody got to deliver information.
Him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor, we need you there. September 16th, Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. They can register as early as today, Rashawn. KYNDradio.com.
Knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
.com.
KYND 1520 Cypress, Houston. KQQB 1520 Stockdale, San Antonio.
The most incredible
talk that inspires change.
Talking to T-Mac about talking to Jay-Z. Hey, man, we need you, brother. We need Jay. You need to come on in here and join this band where we can take over the landscape, take over the whole market. You spitting out some good things about, what you should do and how we should own things. You know, that's why we got the PN Global News Water sitting in here, because AD, like, man, we not.
We just created that. Bam.
Yeah, we not. We're not promoting anybody. We gonna make some things happen here. But we're at KYND Radio, PN Global News, 11:01 Thursday, and we got Dr. Gladney in the house. You know, giving her knowledge, her education, and all the things that people really need to understand about the mind. Because I know the mind is a powerful tool. Powerful tool. Oh my God. This mindset ain't no joke. And all the things that's being created now with the mind.
Right.
You know? Everything was created with
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, you got to have the physical, ability to do this, but you got to have a mental capacity to know that you can create that playbook. You can create these collateral pieces to help people get to the next level. You know, that's some strong stuff with a mind. Mind ain't no joke, right?
Mind is a terrible thing.
I know it took a mind to go through all this stuff I have in front of me.
Yes, sir.
I want to, spend this next hour getting people to understand what all of this is.
There you go.
If you guys don't mind.
No, sir. Absolutely. AD, like, okay,
I'm a student and a
this
sponge.
One down.
You know I am. So however you want to start, Doc, let me, let's go through this stuff. I think it's important that people, get a visual chance to see what any of this is. So wherever you want to start, you let me know.
Okay. Well, we'll start with this kit.
Okay.
What I did, I told you I wrote the book.
Okay.
Right.
If you're in the driver's seat, why are you lost? A roadmap to an amazing life. And actually, the book is written so that in the back of each chapter, you kind of go through, and it was supposed to be a workbook. People don't want to do all the work. This is what happens. People want a different life, but they don't want to do the work to make it happen.
Right.
They don't know how to make it happen, but then when you tell them, they don't want to do the work. So I know that, and I know how people think. I know how their brain processes information. So I created a kit, and it's called the GPS, the Gladney Prosperity System. And what it is, we want to prosper, but people always just think of finances. But you know that you can get a bunch of money and still not be prosperous, right? We know that, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We absolutely know that.
We made
I've been there.
Mind, body, spirit. It's 3 parts to us, and you got to understand how it works. And so I created some product because I know how people's brain processes information to change behavior, and it's real simple. We all follow recipes. You can put together anything just step by step.
Right.
So I teach things step by step. This is what it looks like. So I created, and it's really 4 parts to it, a guide to creating healthy relationships. Because I told you one of the top reasons is stress is relationships and finances. And while we think, we're 2 people, we could get along. No, relationships are a job, and they take work, and they have to be intentional. But people just think they're going to happen, and I don't have to work on this. And so,
no, you got to work on it.
I put together.
I've ever done in my life.
It's hard work.
It's hard work.
And to maintain a healthy, you want it to be successful and healthy. Yeah. And so here's like a step by step. And it's just a little thin workbook so that your brain don't get overwhelmed, because we see a big textbook. We're not going to do nothing with that.
Right.
But it's fun. And I talk about in here how to talk about romance and sex. Who's talking about that? We just act like that's supposed to happen. We know that's not true, right? Okay.
Write it out for me.
You know.
Explain it to me, baby.
Give him the cue card.
We talk about money. We talk about infidelity. Yeah. Okay, come on, people. That's real stuff. Who's talking about it? That's supposed to fix itself. It don't work like that.
Right.
Conflict, communication, all of the things in here that can help you. There's a chart in here that you can get to rate your satisfaction with your relationship. Who sits down and evaluates their relationship? You know, we do. We argue and we scream, you make me sick. We're not evaluating at that time. It's just like you go into a job and say, how am I doing, boss?
Right.
And you get a score. And this is what they tell you need to work on.
And it's probably hard for people to go to that point where they go to paper and rate themselves. You know, that's
But you know what I found? No, it's not, because they just don't know how to do it.
And I think
they don't know how to do it. And so they don't have a tool.
Right.
And so when I work with my clients, it increases their whole. Now they're able to talk because they're not talking when they're arguing. They're sitting down, and each person gets to do this. And you say, well, why did you give a 2 in communication? I thought we had good communication.
Right.
Now that's a whole different conversation. Then you don't listen to me when I'm talking, and you never, all of that extra, that's emotions, and you cannot get anything done when you're emotional. True. So I've just created all of this kind of thing. Okay. And that was the relationship. It's one for the body and how to create a healthy body. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about how to get down to a size. Because people, we really, everything is emotional and mental. Food is emotional. That's why people are overweight, obese. It's because emotional eating. So I teach people what to do with their emotions and how to get into a different space and rerouting what you do. And so, there's exercise rewards. There's all kind of things in here, mental exercises, because all of this is so important. And we don't even know how good and healthy exercise is for your brain. We just think what it does, build up these muscles, keep it tight.
No, right.
It's healthy for your brain.
Right.
The one for finances. Now, it's not about how to invest your money and how to go get capital.
Right, true.
This one is about your mindset with money. A lot of times, people's mindset of money keeps them from getting money. And so the psychological reason, so there's a test in here to look at what is your values of money and finances. What have you been taught about money? We get to look at how middle class people think versus how rich people think. So it's really trying to shift your mind over. And then there's all these things in here that help you, like budgets. And then we even have these script cards.
Yep.
And these are really...
We went through these, AD.
These are really
We've been through all of them.
Because... people came to me and they said, Dr. G, I don't even know what to say. How do I begin the conversation about money? It's tearing us up. So here, I write it out for you. John says, honey, I would like for us to plan some time. We can sit down and work on our money goals. It starts the conversation for you.
It started me sweating right there.
now, obviously, you can change it up, but it gives you some starting place. You want to talk about romance and sex? Honey, I have a steamy question for you. I would love to know how you feel. I mean, that's different than like, how you feel about, anyway, we don't want to get that deep.
No,
okay.
I've already been through this with her, so.
Communication, conversations, infidelity conversations. I put it all in here because we learn systematically, step by step. People can do things when they see it written down step by step.
No, you're right. You're so right. And this is amazing for a lot of different reasons. I'm over here smiling because a part of my job when I retired and I went back to work for the Players Association was this, getting guys to understand that what you do off the floor affects what you do on the floor. So we're going to tie this in, and people think, I got this business, I'm doing all these different things.
Yeah.
But if this isn't taken care of, then your business can't prosper.
Right.
There's too many things going on. You can't go and give yourself 100% of your business if 90% of your mind is back home.
Right.
And if there are things that you can start doing to start helping with some of those issues, or just start laying the foundation so that as you grow in your business, you can grow outside of your business.
Right.
Because those things have to come together. I always say, whatever you are before you got that money, once you get that money, it's just going to magnify. You're going to have more opportunity to do it.
Absolutely.
It's almost like some of these guys, I think they when you take a Kobe Bryant, who is successful now that he's off the floor.
Yep.
We can talk about his drive, which is amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But obviously,
I got that yesterday from Mac. I got that from T Mac, and I sent it to you.
That's why I brought it up.
Right.
But obviously he's taken that drive. He's surrounded himself with the right people. Regardless of what's going on, he's found himself to deal with the stuff off the floor, and now all this stuff coming together, and you see all this success.
Yeah.
And that's just the way that it is. You cannot enjoy your success unless you take care of all this other stuff.
Right.
So I'm so glad that you're partnering with us, because I just feel like this is that missing piece.
I know. I called Dr. Gladney.
This is really that missing.
I got on the phone. I called AD. I called Tracy. I talked to Dame. I talked to Doc. I was like, man, y'all understand, dude. I got that missing piece.
That's it.
With Dr. Gladney with Playbook, and she was told by some other people to talk to us, right? Talk to Rodney, that kind of stuff. But when I saw it, I was like, that's it right there. That's it.
This is definitely it, because we can go in, and there's so many different ways we can help people, but we've always talked about their mindset coming in when we start to help as we go through the process. We don't want to make anybody feel bad about themselves. We don't want to make anybody not understand that this process is eventually going to help them.
Right.
Maybe get rid of some of that fear.
Yeah.
Add some more love back in their life. All that kind of stuff.
We want to add love.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
And I think that's what's in our hearts too. That's what's in our hearts. It's like, hey, we want to see more people successful, but that success has to translate to just better people.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because if you're already thinking, man, when I get successful, I'm gonna do A, B, and C,
right,
and those things aren't good things, then I don't think it's ever gonna matter how much money you make. It's just only gonna get worse as you make it.
Yeah, I tell people, you can have all the money in the world and your life is jacked up. You're not going to be happy.
No.
You don't feel like your life is amazing.
I mean, we see it every day.
We see it all the time.
We see it every day.
You do.
Eventually fail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. And if you're failing in one area, especially if you're failing in this area of life, sooner or later, business is going to
It's going to fall apart.
It is just the way
it is. Because you need, and so of course I took all these pieces, and I know we won't have time to get into, but after the next break, we'll talk about how I transferred all of that over, and when I looked at the world, the sports world, and I know it's a world on its own. And I know you can talk about that all day.
Well, we've definitely been talking about all of that.
And I will tell you how I took all of this and made it the playbook, which is so wonderful.
Which is what I was telling AD. Like, listen, man, playbook,
it's the playbook.
Our vision, our mission, all is in sync, all intact.
Yeah, it's just, who knew?
Right.
Who knew? That's,
Now that was the blessing. That was a blessing.
Those steps. So this is.
So we're going to come back after the break, and we're going to talk about the playbook. KYND Radio, PN Global News, Dr. LaWanna Gladney, Antonio Davis, Rodney Woods.
Hi, I'm Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
And we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kier Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K Run/Walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
for what?
Volunteers. We need volunteers because it could be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who are suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to KiersHope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny.
Call out for
that's how you get people.
As well as
somebody
volunteers.
got to bring food and somebody got to deliver information.
Him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor, we need you there. September 16th, Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. They can register as early as today, Rashawn. KYNDradio.com.
Knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
I'm Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
And we're here at KYND Radio, and we're...
It's your time to call. 1-833-588-5963. That's right. Call 1-833-588-KYND.
right, welcome back. KYND Radio, PN Global News. Rodney Woods, Dr. Gladney, AD. Oh my God, man, Playbook is unbelievable, man. What Dr. Gladney's already created. Then when I saw it and when I got knowledge of it and wind of it, I think I was driving back from one of the shows from Houston. And Dr. Glad was talking on the phone, and she was laying everything out. And visionary-wise, I'm like, man, I can see it without even seeing it at that time. We were just talking. And I think she had the same, sentiments and same good things to say about us. But I was like, man, we're really passionate about changing the game, changing the mindset, making healthier financial decisions, healthier relationships, all those things. But things we wanted to do, things we had already tried to script out. But then when I physically saw it, when Dr. Gladney came into the office, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. Just like you did. When you saw it just now, AD, you lit up.
Blown away.
You lit up, AD. I told Mac this. I said, Mac, I'm going to tell you, man, Dr. Gladney has what we need physically. We have our, our tools, and we have the, the fintech type deal, the technology deal with the, the secret sauce, the relationship managers to help a lot of businesses. But they still need this guide. And that's what I told Dr. Gladney. Now she's smiling. I'm like, okay, you really did tell me, Rodney.
What I'm about to do to her is, and I don't know if she's done it, but I'm going to digitalize all this.
We already doing it.
Yeah, this got to be something I can punch up on my iPad.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, AD and I didn't even talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Doc? Right. And I already told you the same thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's why we all partners, because we the same.
We're
We're on the same accord.
Same page.
Yes.
We're on the same accord.
Rodney's been a blessing to me, man. I have to take the time out to thank him. It's been awesome just to have the conversations we've had about not just business, but life and changing that mindset. And mine's been changed ever since. I've known him for a few years, and he's always hitting me up about this and that and sending me articles now and stuff to read. And I just get fired up and blown away sometimes. But it has changed my thinking, as you can see. And I don't think, we talk about not being able to teach somebody drive. But what we can do is give them, a different vision and hope.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if we do that, we'll drive them to that why, which Darren was talking about.
Yeah.
Which,
Absolutely.
I, as I'm sitting there and he was saying that, I used to ask my kids all the time, when they would talk about not wanting to go to practice or they were tired and they don't want to do this and do that. The first thing I asked them was, well, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why are you playing this game of basketball?
That you're
Why
excited
are you
about
doing gymnastics? Or why are you doing this?
Right.
And if their answer wasn't, something that I agreed upon, which was either, hey, I want to be the best, or I want to go to college, or I want to do this, then okay, we need to find something else. What do you want to do? Yeah. Don't say you're doing this for me.
Right.
Please don't tell me you're doing this for me. Because you think I want to spend all this money and get up early in the morning. You're crazy. I don't want to.
That.
I'm doing this because you told me you wanted to do it.
I went through the same thing.
Hey, and that's
I'm not doing AAU basketball.
No.
I didn't. I did not. And I'm like, if you want this, you got to show me you really want this. Because I'm not finna travel all around the country, because that mess up me playing on Saturdays.
Hey,
right. And I need this, right? So I told Rodney and Robert, I'm like, listen, if you guys want to play sports, you got to want to do this. Daddy not finna go all around the country and pay all this money, then you decide you don't want to play.
You don't want to.
My daughter, Daddy, I want to do softball. I want to do gymnastics. You show me you want to do it, I got you. But if you don't, I'm not doing it.
At a certain point, I was making that investment. Y'all better get a scholarship because I want some return on my investment.
Absolutely.
I'll put these things on you. You're gonna have a problem.
Look at now. Listen, we old school up here, so we might have put them things on them every now and then.
Things on you, man. Put these hands on you.
But I mean, with Dr. Gladney, and like I say, it is a blessing, and I too have been truly blessed with AD and Tracy and Dame and Doc and our whole team, Jesse and LaRonda, all of them. Everybody on our team is really, good character people. They really believe in what we're doing. And it's tough. It's really tough where we are because, we too still have to do certain things. We still got to go out here and we're teaching how to get finance, but we too have to do the same things also. But it was more of a blessing too, Dr. Gladney, when you came to us with Playbook, which was in line where we're going and where we're trying to go, through corporate America, through the minority business community, and to the athlete entertainers. When you started to look at that whole ecosystem, when you said, wait a minute, we got access to all these minority businesses on the ground that have a business that's trying to scale and grow. And then, of course, there's the new millennials coming in because it's an entrepreneur society. They're going to find a way to do something, but it's more self-gratification.
Right.
But we'll still have the tools to teach them so that hopefully they won't make the same mistakes that some of us have made. But when you say you have minority businesses, you got women in government, LGBTQ businesses, you got majority businesses on the ground that are operating in these places that are doing business. Then you got major corporations that are publicly traded companies that's spending money, allocating money out to diversity inclusion. That's 10%, 15% targets, these major corporations, and they're trying to make sure that they do this because these are people buying their products and services.
Right.
So you just can't go away like we did today. We ain't getting no more water. This is PN Global News water until we get this deal, right? Yeah. But, you look at that and then you say, man, what about all these investors that on the sideline that has money, to the chest, that they're trying to invest in different companies, that they never seen all this stuff ever before. And what's really behind the corporation is these businesses right here. What's behind Coke? What's behind Pepsi? What's behind, Toyota? There's all these different businesses that do these certain tasks, these certain services, whether it be HR, whether it be staffing, whether it be building making the bottle top, or making the tire wheel, as we talk about, the lights on your car, the steering wheel in your car, the floor mats, the carpet, the seats, and the list goes on and on. These are other companies that make this stuff that we're talking about. I mean, I get fired up because I'm like, man, this is incredible to know that, we are just a part of just making change. That's it. Everybody's going to make money because it's not a one type of show for us to make money. No, it's about everybody gets a chance to monetize off the things they're doing, and we just got to put those tools on the ground. And Dr. Gladney, you brought a tool too.
This is, yeah. Come on, let's go to
the playbook. Huh?
This one blew me away.
Go to the
sure
playbook.
This one is even going to hit a little bit closer.
Well, so what I did was I was working and knew a lot of NFL players. So I started there, and I thought I need to take the same type of system, same type step by step, and how you learn to play any game, you're taught, and you have a playbook. And so I created the playbook for, and this goes for all areas. It started NFL. So creating a playbook for creating and maintaining a healthy body. So you see creating and maintaining, because at certain points your body's going to do some different things. Right. And so in there I go a little bit deeper than what the individual one is, because your body has gone through a whole lot whenever you played any type of sports.
Right.
And so
especially football.
Yeah, and especially football.
Yeah.
And I was working with some clients that had, because of what's going on in football and the
CTE
the brain
and
injuries
all
and all of that. And so how do you maintain that body that you once had that got you that contract?
Right.
How do you maintain your health even though you've taken some beatings, and what does that look like? And of course that plays effect onto your mind. Yeah. And so there's a playbook for that, and then I created a playbook for your healthy finances, because you started out and you had these great finances, and a lot of times people didn't even know what to do with them. Old school, they talk about, we didn't even get our contracts was $250,000, so they didn't make all the big money and have all the endorsements and the contracts.
Right.
But now they do.
Right.
And so as I was looking now, all of the guys that I was working with and was familiar with, they had already retired. But retirement could come at 35. It's not about being old. It's about you're not any longer in that space.
Right.
And so how do you maintain your finances, and even how you look at it, the money now? How you looked at it before, you look at it differently because you don't have all of it. Some of it has decreased. Some of it is gone.
Right.
For some people, they were broke. Yeah. So how what do you do with all of that? Again, it's about the psychology. It's not about the investment pieces. But, of course, with Playbook, with Pen, we're able to translate all of this over and say, this is what these finances, this is what you do in maintaining the healthy finances. So it's still the knowledge and teaching. And then
that's why I hate that word retirement.
Yeah.
I always say transition because
Right.
a professional athlete, if he's done at 35 or mid-30s or whatever,
Right,
he's still
right.
got
Yeah.
a whole nother life.
he got a
to live.
whole life
So
to live.
now we want to kind of help with that transition. We actually want to even start before you quote unquote retire from that sport and help you start thinking about transitioning into the next
Right.
whatever it is.
Right,
Whatever your why is.
Yeah.
If you want to change the world, we're going to help you change the world.
Right.
How can we do that? By businesses, getting involved in what we're doing.
Yep.
We can help you do
Yep,
that.
absolutely.
And, when you talk about that, I did create one. I did call it that. We could call it whatever.
No.
But maintaining the healthy retirement, because what happens, especially when you're in the sports arena and you're no longer playing, you were a celebrity and now you're not.
Right.
How do you continue to make yourself relevant? But a lot of guys, and guys don't talk about it, but they go into depression. And the depression, and it's like they're lost. And what do I do now? And what is my identity? Because no longer, some people may know you, but some people don't, because depending on how high up the food chain you were.
And we talked about a lot of that.
Yeah.
While we were building Penn, we talked about a lot of that because we knew that the current guys had the liquidity. And we knew a lot of the retired guys would not still have liquidity like they had back in the day, right? And plus the money's changed too. But, Dr. Gladney, we've talked about how we help a lot of these retired players, implementing them into the businesses and the minority business they don't know anything about,
Right.
that we can actually make them brand ambassadors, a part of the company, helping sales, which is going to give them money too.
Right.
So, you still a hometown hero, or you still played in Indiana, or you still played in New York, or you played in Chicago. We're going to take you back to those places what's
where
relevant.
you can still be
right,
embraced.
where you're relevant and wherever you're living at.
Yeah.
People know you, but they don't know you. But now we're going to put you in the business side because the liquidity is different on the current players now than it was back in the day.
Yeah. It's about finding, re-identifying who you are, finding yourself, and getting established streams of income.
Right.
No, and the reason I love this too because you talked about professional athletes, but once again, my mom, I love her to death, worked at Kaiser for 45 years.
Okay.
And so now her identity was going to work, church, and all of that stuff. Now that she's retired, it's like, what do I do now? And we're finding now that even if that retirement age for you out of your business, let's just say hey,
that's true.
You start this business, you work it, and physically you can't do it anymore, and you're 65 or whatever, but you don't want to totally walk away.
Okay.
You just want to start, take a little less position and do something else.
And so what we're going to do, we're going to come back after the break and finish this up with 832-230-5592, KYND Radio, Penn Global News.
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
Okay, for what?
volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to KiersHope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny. I'm
Call
being
out
funny.
for
See, that's how you get people.
as well as
somebody got to
volunteers.
bring food, and somebody got to deliver
Between
information.
him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there, and more, along with thousands of individuals. So if you're a volunteer or a vendor, we need you there. September 16th, Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. They can register as early as today, Rashawn. KYNDradio.com.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king.
Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
and we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kier Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
Okay, for what?
volunteers. We need volunteers because it could be there are thousands.
Listen longer. Think differently.
We coming back.
You don't hear my head bobbing like
Yeah,
this,
right.
Then, you know.
You know, we just bobbing. We didn't have no music. Rob just left the music out. So me and AD just says natural fit for us just bob. So we just bob. Man, we have to give an apology to Big Jeff. Jeff, if you out there, call back in. We apologize. We did not get you on the call. So true apologies. Can you please call back in and we can actually talk to you. But in the meantime, you know, A and Doc, we're going to go back to where we were. The last piece here, Doc, you were just expounding on was creating the
retirement.
Retirement.
Yeah,
piece.
so of course. Yeah,
we're talking about retirement.
But
right.
but then I think we had kind of covered that, and then of course one for the mind, because so much of it again goes back to the mind and your identity. We actually start with that one because they're really kind of taught in succession. You want people to go through them, so they start out with the mind, because like, where are you right now? Who are you? You got to re-identify yourself, and people don't think about doing introspective thinking and what do I want to do. They just feel lost and they have no direction. So put all of that in there, as well as talked about the CTE and the other things that are affecting the mind. So your confidence level, just all of the things that are human that sometimes it's difficult for men to talk about.
Yeah.
Difficult for men to say, you know, I'm feeling unworthy. You know, that's a woman deal. You know what I'm saying?
Feeling unworthy.
I don't feel like I'm valued
I
right
don't know
now.
if I'm going to say that.
We say it differently.
Yeah, we
but
might
that's
say
what I'm
it
saying.
differently.
And they not going to say it.
Appreciate
Yeah, but that's really, you know, for me, that's really where they end. They're not feeling valued and worthy at present time. So I kind of walk through it in man language so that they can get it and understand, so they can build up the mind, and then it kind of works through, you know, through the rest of them. And then the last one, of course, is the relationships, because we do know that in the sports arena, relationships suffer even almost at a higher rate. And it's because of what you do, being on the road. It's because of the groupies. It's because of all the things that you have, being an influencer and a power person and money. You have everything, and everybody comes out the woodwork. And so then you have either the wife at home or the girlfriend or whoever that, you know. So it suffers a lot of different dynamics that even the regular relationship doesn't. So how do you create or maintain your healthy relationships? So it has some of the same kind of activities, but done differently. And so I had to gear it toward men, because that was mainly geared toward women. So I know men's not going to come in and say, let's evaluate. So it's a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? So I took all of that into consideration, understanding how male's brain work, and put it in the playbook so we can just extend this out to everybody.
We're going to even take it a step further, because these young guys are experiencing this stuff a little bit earlier.
Yes,
a lot earlier.
We are going to back this up a little bit, because this is not just about professional guys, and I say this because I got a son in college.
Yep.
And all this stuff we're talking about, he's going through
Yeah.
before he even gets there.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful one day he's able to play some professional ball or not. But even if
He's
that
just
doesn't
playing
happen,
basketball?
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
if
yeah.
that doesn't happen,
He's already
Yeah.
in
if
that
you
arena.
and these guys in college football today,
Yeah.
it is unbelievable
Yeah.
the stuff that they're going through in college.
Oh,
Yeah.
And when you go into college at 18, and by the time you come out at 20, 22, whatever the case may be.
Right.
You need this stuff.
You do.
Even more. We need to set the foundation before they get there.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it starts way down here.
Down there, yeah.
So I don't know if you have, but we're going to tailor make some of this stuff for
the young athletes.
Yeah. That's why I love AD.
We're going to run into the NCAA. And we're going to pitch all of this because they need it.
They do.
You know, and the retirement piece will just be a transition piece, going from going from an amateur to a professional.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's just so needed because I know in college, man, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
I'm
you
sure.
know, learning how to have healthy relationships, you know, how to pick and choose your friends, you know, how to deal with that stress of, you know, school and athletics.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff, you know, played a part in what I was doing.
Absolutely.
You know, how do I manage a little bit of money that I have?
Yeah.
Right. All that stuff is important.
Absolutely.
But you know, you find so many of the young guys and young ladies, and AD, your daughter's playing in Dallas. AD's daughter's playing in Dallas in the WNBA. You know, so she's got challenges too.
Her own,
So she
tailor make this for women too.
Right, right.
I got a whole list of stuff.
You
looking at me like,
I know. I'm like, hey,
we're gonna put you to work. You didn't know it, but we're gonna put you.
She didn't have no idea.
She didn't know.
That's what I'm here for.
She's like, man, think it's fall.
She's like,
now it's about to be huge.
Right. I'd have heard this from everybody.
I know you're thinking big.
I was thinking big, but I wanted
to put it on your plate now.
As many people that can get the message.
Yeah.
You know,
and the beautiful thing is it's all about all of us. You know, everybody has a role, a responsibility. We are passionate. We got a mission. We got a vision. You know, like Darren said. But you know, we're in driver's seats. You know, and how do we get other people to drive? You know, just like us. You know, and just like AD is expounding on taking it to the NCAA, which they do, and they need it bad because I mean these kids are deploying so much money.
They are.
It's just, that's crazy to me too. But they need to guide
those young guys how to brand themselves.
Yeah.
You know, because if I go to college in Alabama, but I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
And say I don't make it as a professional, but I have some type of brand in Alabama. I got to be able to go back to Alabama and monetize off that somehow.
And you know what?
There's a lot of situations there where we can get that done.
And that's a huge economic impact.
Yes, it is.
For the state of Alabama or the city,
right.
You know, that college is in. Because, you know, the hometown guy who's well recognized or the hometown lady who's well recognized, and they go back in, just like we talk about the hometown heroes, you know, getting into these businesses, that's still another economic impact because people are going to gravitate towards that athlete, and especially if they got a good business. They got a good business, got a good attitude, they putting back in the community, you know, it's just a win. Sure. I mean, everything that we've always talked about has always been about everybody else and not just ourselves, you know, so we're not like self. You know, we're all about everybody who wants to be a part of it, anybody and everybody. So Dr. Gladney has done the ultimate in bringing the playbook piece to us, which she probably thought we would just be asking a little bit. I didn't say the word, but, you know, thought we was cutting up a little bit. We wasn't really real. You know,
I got some other ideas too, but I
don't give them to her. Right?
Yeah,
I can't be overwhelmed because I learned how to think big, and so
oh no, I just seen some different things. I heard. I think I got lashing in the first 30 minutes. Now, Rodney, so you just like the rest of these guys over here, you AD and Tracy and Doc and Damon. I heard about all y'all.
I didn't.
I'm cutting up.
I love it though. Don't let us. Hey, we need that too, Rod. I will say that.
Right.
I will say that.
We do.
The women on our team.
Definitely
keep us in check.
And
here we are.
I shared that, and I did. I told the AD and I hadn't rehearsed none of this, and he just said the women on our team was just phenomenal. And what did I tell you earlier? Without the girls on our team. LaRonda, Shakita, and Sean, and other ladies that are working with us, and Shauna, who brought me to the show. Shauna, you remember Shauna? So who brought us to the KYND radio team? To just phenomenal.
Right.
Every lady that's come around us is just phenomenal. Have good spirits.
What does that say?
That we can't do blank blank without y'all.
All right.
First of all, that's the first thing it says amongst the other list of things
Yeah.
that it says.
There you go.
All right, we're going to come back out of the break. KYND Radio, PN Global News. Jeff, Big Jeff, if you're out there again, our apologies. Call back in.
Holla, my bad.
832-230-5592.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is knowledge is king. 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 Knowledge is king.
Hi, I'm Morris Parsons, and
I'm Tracy L. James. And I'm Alexis Moore.
we're here at KYND Radio, and we're inviting you to connect to the power. KYNDradio.com. It's your place to be. You're not here yet?
Hi, I'm Kira Junior Spates.
Hey, and I'm Tasha Evans, guys. We're so excited about our first annual Kiers Hope Foundation 5K Run Walk for sickle cell to be incredibly well. Don't be the one, whatever you do, don't be the one that misses.
Hi, this is Rashawn McDonald, and we're talking about the 5K run/walk for sickle cell, September 16th.
Yes.
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be Oyster Creek Park in Sugarland. And this is a call out, Rashawn, to
Okay, for what?
volunteers. We need volunteers because it will be there. Thousands of individuals will be out there with us.
Join us and thousands of runners as we celebrate the lives of people who suffering from sickle cell disease. Listen, go to KiersHope.org and register today. We're going to see you on the 16th.
I'm being funny. I'm
Call
being
out
funny.
for
See, that's how you get people.
as well as
somebody got to
volunteers.
give food, and somebody got to deliver
Between
information.
him and Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, guys, listen.
I'm the food
whatever you
part
do,
of the commercial.
Don't miss it. Okay, we have a post-race party. Rashawn will be there. Junior will be there.
Indeed. You waited long enough. It's your time to call. 1-833-588-5963. That's right. Call 1-833-588-KYND.
All right, welcome back. KYND Radio, PN Global News, 1144. Man, time always fly when we on the set.
Wow.
I think every week we always talking about, man, we wish we had more time. I mean, because we just love what we're doing too, and being able to, provide the knowledge for listeners and viewers who are listening to the show or looking at Facebook. You can also, view us on Facebook, KYND Radio, Facebook. You got Twitter accounts.
Follow, watch, snap,
Yeah.
whatever you do out there.
Anything and everything.
You'll find us somewhere.
Roku. You can go to, I think it's Genuine Journey on Roku.
Wow.
Yeah, Genuine Journey on Roku, which you can be seen across the country. Which I know.
You threw me a left hook with that.
Yeah. So the show eventually will be seen across the country on Roku. You can see it. You can also see it on your Fire Sticks. You can go to YouTube on your Fire Stick and pull up all the shows. Right. So you can go to PN Global News and pull up any show.
In other words, there's no excuse.
No excuse.
For people not to.
It's here for you.
Check it out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's painful getting on that road and driving up here every Wednesday. It is worth it.
Once we finish up, we're like, okay.
It's painful you get on that plane coming up from Atlanta.
But it's okay. I'm not complaining.
But no, I mean, you're grateful to be able to talk for one. Grateful to have a mindset, as Doc say, to have a mindset and have a vision and a mission to do what we're trying to do and get accomplished to help any business. Right now, of course, we're in our own lanes in the minority business space where we're trying to help minority businesses, really truly get educated and gain access to capital and get to the next level. And the athlete entertainer AD, that's just always been the passion.
Yeah.
And
for me, as we and I see it written all over your stuff, Doc. It's about that total wellness.
Yeah.
We can't talk about just the mind or just the body or just the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all wrapped in together.
It is.
And but when you have healthiness in a total way, it really changes your life.
It does.
It really does. And I've had, some experience in some areas being better than the other, but I notice when they're all kind of up there, life just runs so much smoother. Doesn't mean things don't happen, or you don't have arguments in a relationship, or you don't have a financial hurdle you have to deal with, or sometimes you feel lonely or depressed or whatever. It doesn't mean those things don't happen.
Right.
But when they happen, you address them. You have tools that you can go to. You have people you can talk to. You know what to do and how to deal with it.
Right.
And I think that's when you get that ultimate total wellness. That's when it happens.
And most people don't talk about the spirit part, the mind, body, spirit. And I talk so much about it, and you have to be careful in corporations, and I don't understand why, because we're made up of mind, body, spirit.
Yes.
Okay. But that is so important because that really is what keeps you all balanced.
Yes.
And when you know that there's something bigger than you, and it's not just about you.
Right. No, and it's not. It's not about
It's not just about you.
Yes. Right.
And you can see your place and how you fit into this big, vast space of the world. Then it keeps you grounded, and our thoughts are what feeds our spirit. So keeping your mind and your thoughts healthy and positive is so important, and we don't give enough to that. We just and what's amazing about us is we just do life. We do life and react and respond to life.
Yeah.
And trying to put people in the driver's seat of their life and their business, I see this working so well because that's what it's really all about, regardless if you work for somebody or not.
Right.
Because that's still kind of like your business, because everybody's not made to be an entrepreneur. We know that.
No.
Not at all.
But just like you said, your mom, she still, it's like now that she was retired. I mean, so it's still it's something that everybody needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if us have the ability to reach everybody.
No, we got some reach.
I'm excited.
I mean, we got some reach. I mean, you got some star power around you. You got good folks around you. As you see in AD, and you'll meet Tracy today. I think you're going to Tracy's house with us today for meetings. Him and his wife, good people. Our team, our whole team, which you're meeting most of the team. All our team are just great people. But like I said, we all on the same page. One mission. One goal to get accomplished is just like anything else. You teach one, or you reach one, you teach one.
Right.
You keep it going,
And now we can go, deeper with our message because, before, like you said, it's about finance and relationships. And I think we had the finance part.
Yeah.
Now that we have the relationship part,
I know.
Then, I think we are definitely a total company now.
Yeah.
I've always knew that we were missing something.
I was the missing piece.
You were the missing
goodness
piece.
Gracious.
And
Look at that.
now we're able to offer something even more.
I got some things to mess with her about offline anyway. Cause I said a few things.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
stuff.
keeping. I know. I'm the missing piece. Just keep telling me that.
You're the missing piece, Doc. Dr. Lawana Gladney. Dr. Lawana Gladney. But no, I mean, Dr. Gladney, honestly, I mean, it is, a privilege and an honor, for you to join our team. And I thank Nancy at BB&T for making an introduction.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nancy.
Shout out to Nancy.
Shout out to Nancy at BB&T. But we're coming, BB&T. We are coming to Charlotte. We need to get that $10 million line of credit, because I'm going to put it out there. I'm not afraid to say it.
No, he didn't.
Affirming that.
I'm up. Yes, right.
Don't put it out there.
Yeah. They put it on out there in the space. Go ahead and claim that, boy. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, from all of us, here at KYD Radio and PN Global News, it's just important that we continue to just drive. Just drive this message to anybody and everybody that wants it. Anybody wants to make change. Anybody wants to, change the mindset of themselves or the business and your employees. That's what it's about. The athlete entertainers. If we could just change a few, and a few of them going to change some others.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we're talking about right. You got responsibility.
Yeah.
We talked about Jay-Z. We did, and he's doing his thing. Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, you know, Snoop, all of them.
Yes.
But we need all of them too to help all of us, to help everybody else that want to be helped. Right. You know, and that's the beauty of us.
Well, yeah, and I think it's important that everybody understands that one person can make a difference. I just want people to really get in their heads that you can make a difference. And a lot of times we don't feel like that one person can make the difference. So we look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, college student.
Yeah.
We look at
Steve
Jobs.
I studied Steve.
College student.
You know who else?
We look at Bill Gates, college student. We look at who you gonna say?
Jack Ma.
Yeah.
I told Tracy a long time ago, Mac, we need to meet with Jack Ma at Alibaba while we're in China, when we were going to China. You know, and he was busy. I mean, you know, Mac had a lot on his schedule, and he's huge in China, as we've already talked about it, and I think I shared that with you too, Doc. But I was telling Mac, I said, Mac, when we go to China, we need to set up a meeting with Jack Ma. Alibaba is probably the biggest company out there in the market. $1 trillion business, right?
One person started that.
And who aligned themselves with Jack Ma? Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Kobe aligned himself with the muse is with Alibaba.
Right. And if these influencers can understand how much power when they come together with somebody to understand, to be mentored and all that, because there's so much to it, then understanding how to take their celebrity status. Now, you don't have to be a celebrity to make a difference.
No, absolutely not.
So that's what I want people to know.
Make a bigger difference.
But you can make such a bigger difference. So the Jay-Z's and the people that you're talking about, because right now everybody's talking about is music. So a lot of times we think, well, they already a celebrity, so of course they can make a difference. But we want them to understand the power that they have in their hand, as well as the people who were just like me, just, you know, went to school, went to college, and you're not a celebrity per se.
Right.
Well, I am, but no.
You are.
No, but what I'm saying is, you know, you create that. And you, as this one person, can make a difference. And that's what we're trying to do. So if one person can make a difference, imagine the power of 10. Imagine the power of 20.
That's what we talked about. That's why we lined it up. We lined up PN Playbook Investors Network, industry by industry. You know, because we know that one of those companies is going to make a difference, and some other companies like them are going to see them. So we did that. We lined everything up industry by industry. We lined up the players, you know, team by team, you know, sport by sport. You know, the investor pool is a different play, but you got your core investor. But if other investors see other investors coming in here and getting in and putting in money to business they've never seen before, that they can turn around and make that business from a $10 million business to a $200 million business or a $1 billion business, what's going to happen? Right. So we'll affect change at that time, you know. We'll affect change. But knowledge, education is key.
No, it is. And I think ultimately, you know, getting back to what Darren said, we want to be living our why.
Right.
You know, I think everybody inside and out, you know, want to feel good about what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Right.
And I think sometimes you know, you get to a point where you've made enough money. You know, hopefully you get people to start understand. Okay, I've made enough money. I live a good life.
Great.
What's next for me?
Right.
Man,
should be to start helping others. But you know, something. You know, maybe that's something we'll throw in here too.
No, man. You've
had a
that's
pretty
a great
good life,
feeling.
my brother.
Yeah.
What are you going to start doing?
But you know,
now
that philanthropic thing, man, and
truly
that philanthropic thing of giving back. Man, if you done made enough money, a lot of money, that you know you can't take this with you anyway.
Right.
Man, let's give this back. Let's give it to companies and groups and people, homeless, whatever.
Make a difference.
Plant some seeds.
That philanthropic piece right there to have. Let's be in a position where we can do that. We can give money to groups that couldn't get the money. You know, we're going to, just like anything else, I'm going to give you this $10 million, but we're going to put some processes in here so that y'all do the right thing with this money. Right? Man, I tell you, boy, PN Global News, it's always an honor to be here every Thursday for me. 10 a.m. to noon every Thursday at PN Global News, KYND Radio.
Central Time.
Central Time. That's right. That's right. So that you're
You
right,
always
AD.
throw me
Central
off
Time
with
too, because AD coming from the East Coast.
When I'm not here and I go 10 to 12, I'm like, yo, man, this is way too early. Y'all not even on me.
And Pacific Time is different too. They 2 hours behind us. So,
I'm
Dr.
honored to be
Gladney,
here. I'm
Dr.
so
Gladney,
honored.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here
Thank
with
you
us.
for having me.
We look at our long relationship moving forward to change the landscape
Absolutely.
of minority, woman-owned government, LGBT businesses, majority businesses, the entrepreneurs, our kids, all of our kids who really going to become entrepreneurs at some point. We want to help you. We want you to understand how we did it, but don't do it because of us. Do it because of you. Right?
Say you gonna do something.
You go, yeah, that's right. and you know, if AD said you gonna do something, you gonna do something, boy. You better get. So for the listening audience, again, thank you for always listening. Thank you for the viewership. Thank you for KYND Radio. Thank you, Rob. Always a pleasure, brother. Pioneering this thing, keeping us moving on the right track. Giving us a little Jay-Z every now and then, but we gonna get there, brother. We gonna get there. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Back at KYND Radio, PN Global News, 1520.
KYND, your voice matters. We're listening.